That's something I'd have to consider, quite frankly, because I don't know any other way to do it but to look internally. Am I giving enough as a head football coach? Am I giving enough to the team? Am I giving up? Am I sacrificing enough in my game planning and my study during the week? So I got to look at myself, and that's what I ask the players to do. Is they got to look and see, are they getting extra conditioning? Are they getting extra film study during the week? Are they getting rest at night? That all those things are part of wins and losses, and so that's something that'll never change.
A lot of internal questioning by Doug Pederson as he
started with his book tour.
It started with the book tour, which came 5 minutes after the Super Bowl.
He was fat, man. He was fat, and this team was fat. This team was celebrating. They over-celebrated. They got out to a slow start. Guys didn't train like they used to. Jay Ajayi went down. I thought it was a huge mistake, the fact that they didn't go out and address the running back position. They go out and get Golden Tate, who's a nice little piece. But come on.
How much of that is his fault? How much of that can you blame? Everything he just mentioned, how much of that can you pin on Doug Pederson?
Well, not all of it. I want to say that, the way to
Bro, you win the Super Bowl?
Nope.
You get close?
Yeah.
If you had one, was the first thing you do was it been write a book?
Yeah, I might have cashed in. I might have cashed that chip in.
Okay.
I ain't mad at him.
But if you had come back the next year and not been successful, not been to the Pro Bowl, we'd have been looking at you been like, Bart Scott's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
That's justified.
Trizzle. I think, when you think about how people break down dynasties, what they do is they attack their assistant coaches because they don't get enough credit. Those are the guys that spend the majority of their time with the coaches coaching on the little things. And when I look at this team, I think they're not doing the little things well. You talk about last year, that defense was buttoned up. Now this defense is giving up huge chunks in the run game, but also giving up big plays down the field. That's a lack of discipline. The fundamentals, the same thing you were doing last year, it's the same calls. You should be more comfortable in them now. The packages should be able to grow, and they have bad eyes. Jalen Mills and Darby is just...
Darby's done for the year.
Yeah, he blew out, and that's going to hurt him as well because now the backup to the backup has to come in, and that attacks and hurts your special teams.
Here's the thing, man. There's no reason these Eagles couldn't have been the Seahawks. None. It's the same path as the Seahawks were on. Win a Super Bowl in year 2 with a star quarterback. Theoretically, got a great coach. Got an excellent defense. Now, the Seahawks were built on the back end. The Eagles were built on the front end.
I ain't going to allow you to do that, Nick.
What?
Doug Pederson, there ain't nothing the same about him and Pete Carroll.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to build to.
There's not even, not even the Pete Carroll.
That's the distinction, is the head coach, because what the Seahawks...
Great general manager. Getting players, helping them.
All these things. The big difference is the coach, because the Seahawks, what they did was they won a Super Bowl. Then the next year, they got within a yard of winning it. Then the next year, they get back to the playoffs. They run into an MVP buzzsaw in the Carolina Panthers. The next year, they get to the playoffs again, run into another MVP buzzsaw. That one, the Atlanta Falcons. And then last year, 9 wins. They're alive for the playoffs going into the 4th quarter of Week 17. That's a 5-year run of excellence, of contention. 5 years. Probably could have won 2 of them. Probably should have won 2 of them.
And even sitting here today, the Seahawks are 4-5. We got more confidence in the Seahawks getting in the playoffs than we do the defending world champs who are 4-5 also.
Same record. And the distinction is the head coach. The distinction is what Pete Carroll maybe knew from his first time around in New England to not make mistakes, what he learned about being a champion in college and how to deal. I don't know what it is, but I do know this, that Doug Pederson has not given us a consistent message week in, week out as far as what he's telling his team. And I can only imagine the message he's been giving the players in the locker room.
Every NFL team I've ever been on, the players take their marching orders from the coach. The coach tells us how we're going to address the media. He will tell us, listen, I'm going to tell you guys this. I'm going to tell the media this. So at least we're on the same marching orders, even from a game plan standpoint. This weekend, man, we're going after Brett Favre. We're going to blitz him. We're going zero coverage. We're going to make it tough for him. In the media, I'm going to tell them, we're going to play conservative. We're concerned about this offense. We're concerned about Brett Favre. We got injuries on the back end. So you go through this exchange week in and week out. And I've sat in the locker room many a days. And when you see that coach speaking and he's saying some stuff that we don't know, man, you start losing confidence in the guy. Because in the locker room, man, there's 20 televisions on. In the weight room, there's 20 televisions on. And I can guarantee you the Eagles and their leaders are not on the same messaging as Doug Pederson. Doug Pederson told the reporter, oh, well, maybe I should look at myself. You should already have that one answered. I mean, I just don't.
Self-doubt when you're on the podium.
Attitude
you shouldn't be
reflects
wondering
leadership.
what you should do when you're taking almost advice or pointers from the media.
Right, because when you look to your coach, you want answers to the questions that you have. And when he doesn't know the answers, then where do we go from there? And I wonder how much of the brain trust was Frank Wright, was DeFilippo, and being able to do the red zone type of things. When I look at Carson Wentz throwing the ball 44 times, you can't win that way. And they got beat up. I mean, you talk about a 7-point game. Wentz threw the ball 44 times. That means that they're not being able to effectively run the ball. This offensive line isn't the same. Peters isn't the same player that he was just last year.
Bart, you make a great point because they changed their offense totally after Carson Wentz got hurt. That first game, remember, our boy Nick Foles came in there and they were struggling.
Scary.
And then all of a sudden, that's when we saw the high percentage of RPOs. That's when we saw the threat. They started using multiple running backs. And that's when, for that 2-game stretch, all right, that's when they caught fire. NFC Championship, Nick Foles was unbelievable. And in that Super Bowl, he was unbelievable.
And I can't have, even if he's just almost rambling, doesn't really know what he's saying, I can't have my head coach questioning how hard he's working. I mean, it's an NFL head coach now. Like I was told a long time ago, early in my career, and it's one of the things that stuck with me, you got to figure out which horse you are. Are you the show horse? Are you the money horse? Are you the workhorse? Are you the show horse? Are you the person that we bring in because it's going to be a big, glitzy, glamorous name? Are you the money horse? Are you someone that the sponsors are going to follow that attach money to you? Or are you the workhorse? Are you someone that's always going to bust your ass and no one's going to be able to question how hard you're working? I've obviously decided my only path to anything is to be the workhorse, right?
Well,
That's
it's not obvious to me, but go ahead.
Okay, thank you, see. But for NFL head coaches, all of them got to be the workhorse.
Yeah.
Nobody's there because of the name, because of the book sales. Everyone's there because you're supposed to be outworking the opponent. It's not because the only show horse NFL coach I can think of is John Gruden. And how the hell's that working out? You all got to be the workhorse. And I don't actually question how hard Doug Pederson's working, but he's questioning how hard he's working, and to me that's a bad sign.
Or how
in that
smart
locker
he's
room.
working as well, because it doesn't seem like he has the answers. Bad game plan. I look at really they got beat with the same thing that they did last year with the RPOs. They went to a tight end on the backside. They let the defensive end go. Dak Prescott doing his Russell Wilson impersonation, holding the backside defensive end, take the tight end to the support corner, wash it back, big plays all day, and they never made the adjustment to it.
All right, Bart, stick around. We got more coming up. Do the Patriots have serious problems after losing to the Titans? Next on First Things First.
Chris the show horse, you the money horse, Jenna.
Money horse.
I'm Seabiscuit.